Alright, welcome to a video. This is my first Q&A I've ever done. I made a community post and one short asking for questions, and I got a lot more questions than I was expecting. So this might be a kind of long video. So we're going to just go straight into the list and see what people ask, because there are some good questions, there are some weird ones, and there are some just straight up pointless ones. But we'll get to those. Alright, I have all my questions pulled up on my iPad and I'm just going to go down the list. First question I got was from Dynamite, and first off, shout out to Dynamite. If you haven't listened to his music, go listen to it, because if you like my music, you'll probably like his music. If you don't like my music, you'll probably still like his music because it's really good. So go find him on YouTube. It's at Dynamite of Jesus, or you can just search Dynamite on Spotify and just go listen to his music. But he asked me, what kind of microphone do you use and what kind of app do you use to make your music? For a microphone, I use a Samson Q2U USB mic. It's actually my mom's that she got for podcasting, but she doesn't really use it, so I just use it. And I think it's like $70. It's really cheap, but it does the job. I want to get a better mic soon, but I've messed around with EQ and some settings and stuff in my DAW to get it to sound decent, so that's just what's been working for me. For the app for music, I use Logic Pro on iPad because I don't have a Mac and I don't really want to pay $200 at one time just for Logic. So I pay the $5 a month for the iPad version, and it works really well. My iPad is pretty weak. It's a 2020 iPad Air, so it has like 4 gigs of RAM, and the I think it's the A14 or the A14 chip from Apple. So it's not the best, but it does the job and it works. I've never had any serious problems with it, but I've had some performance issues, but I've gotten it to work. So that's what I use. Second question, I'll just show them on the screen. What's your favorite song or songs and album? I really want to answer this, but I like so many songs that I know that if I do in 1 week, it's already going to be outdated because my favorite song changes so much. Favorite albums change so much. I'm definitely an albums guy. I always listen to albums unless I'm in the car. Always albums. So I have a big collection of albums that I like to listen to and songs. Mostly I do listen to Christian rap and um, music kind of like that, and also worship music. I like worship music a lot. But I can't name any artist or song because it's going to be outdated really quickly if I do, so I can't. Okay, so those were the two from the community post. I'm gonna just go down the list of the video because there were some weird ones. First one I got was favorite anime. I don't really watch anime or really any TV on my own. Like the only time I ever watch shows is if I'm watching with my family, which isn't super often. So I don't have a favorite anime because I don't watch anime. Alright, I like this one. What inspired you to make music? So ever since I was a little kid, I've always loved music, and um, I've taken piano since I was like 6 or 7, I think, and I've taken it on and off. Currently, I'm not doing it, but I've done it a lot, and I've always loved playing piano. But I've also liked to make my own songs for a while. Since like 2019, 2020, I made my own songs on piano, and like during COVID, I made a bunch of piano songs, which I was really proud of at the time. But looking back, they weren't the best because I was like 11, 12, but they were still fun to make. And so around 2022, I had the idea of starting. No, I guess it would have been like late 2021, early 2022. I had the idea of starting a band with my friends, so I wrote some songs, and it never really happened because at that age it's kind of hard to start a band when no one can drive or anything. And so I continued to want to make songs, but I didn't really write any for like a year. And then in 2023, I started to get back into making music and made some demos and wrote a lot more full songs. And I really wanted to produce my own music, and I used this online DAW called Soundtrap, which, if you know what Soundtrap is, you'll know that you shouldn't use Soundtrap. It's really buggy. I mean, it works for some things, but I would not, if I were you, I would not use it for like making a full song, maybe a demo. Um, so I used that and I made this demo that I was really happy about, but I never finished it because I wasn't confident in my singing ability because I'm not a super great singer and I get kind of nervous when I record, so my voice sounds kind of scratchy and not very good. And so I never actually finished that song. I still really want to because it's so close to being done, but I really want to finish it because I really liked it. And so I took a break for a while because I had kind of given up. And then in November, I was listening to music and I was like, you know what? I really like this. I think I'm going to try it again. And that's when I got the idea for the song What People Think, which is now my first song that I actually released. I was like, okay, I'm going to make this, I'm going to release it, and I'm going to see where we go from there. And so I worked on it for a while, on and off for a couple months, and I finally got it finished in January and released it. And since then, I've just been more confident in making more songs. So God has a plan to use your abilities. I mean, I've always wanted to make Christian music, but I knew God had some kind of plan, and I want to be in a worship band sometime too. Are you a Swiftie? What do you think? No, not no. I do not like Taylor Swift or like any secular mainstream music, really. Which leads into another question that I got that I thought was a decent question. Um, do you listen to mainstream music or just Christian? No, I don't really listen to anything mainstream. I listen to almost all Christian music with a couple of exceptions. I listen to a band called Surfaces, which is Forrest Frank and then another guy. I don't think they're making music together anymore, but they were for a while. And sometimes I'll listen to their albums, not super often, but they're pretty good. Like it's all clean, it's wholesome, there's nothing unchristian about it. It's kind of like an in between Christian music and secular music, but I think the whole idea of secular art not being good is kind of flawed. I think it needs to be, instead of Christian and secular, music needs to be more like God honoring and God dishonoring. So like there's plenty of mainstream music, a good chunk of mainstream music, not all of it, but a lot of mainstream music out there is just really nasty and glorifies things that are not of God. And some of it isn't. I mean, there's music with good messages, may have some cussing in it and stuff, and I don't listen to that either. But I try to stick with Christian artists or artists who are Christian, um, who make still good music. But I listen to almost only Christian music. What sports do you like? So I played soccer for a long time, and I really like playing soccer. I played football for a year, and I really like watching football too. So I really like soccer and football. I also played baseball when I was a kid, and it was pretty fun. But I didn't really like the waiting part of it, where you just wait and stand there, because I like to run. That's why I like soccer so much. It's because there's a lot of running in it. Um, but the only sport I really ever liked watching was football, and so yeah, I haven't really been into sports for a little while now. It's been about 2 years since I played soccer, but I really like it anyway. Who's your favorite superhero? I don't know. I don't really like um watching just superhero movies by myself. Like I said, I'm not a big TV person, so I'm not really into like I've watched Marvel movies. They're not something I really really like. It's just kind of like, yeah, this is entertaining. And so I don't know if I have a favorite superhero. I'm not really a superhero guy. Where do you live? Earth. Okay, in all seriousness, no, I live in somewhere in the United States, in a state called Missouri, and that's about all I can say. Do you like Dr. Pepper? Do I like the taste of Dr. Pepper? Yes. Do I like the ingredients list of Dr. Pepper? No. Do you like The Weekend? If you're talking about The Weekend as in Saturday and Sunday, yes. If you're talking about The Weekend as in the music artist, no. This one's good. Were you always a Christian or did you become one like a couple years ago or something? So I could this could be its own like hour long video honestly, but I'll just answer it briefly. So I grew up in a Christian home and always believed in Jesus, believed in God, um, had good Christian parents, and I really started to like dig into what it really meant to follow Christ and be a Christian the last few years, and I've just grown in my faith a lot and just surrendered my life to God. So I've always believed and I've always known He was there, but I didn't really make it my own faith and something I was serious about until a few years ago. But um, it was all God's glory for saving me, and I thank Him for every bit of it. I didn't earn it. I didn't do anything to earn salvation or to get it. God, God did it. Do you like Invincible? I don't know what you mean by that. I like the Michael Jackson album Invincible. In that case, no. Um, would I like to be invincible? Honestly, probably not, because then people would probably think I'm God or something. I don't know. So just no, I don't like invincible, whatever you mean by that. Why does the shark on the right of your shirt have such big teeth? That is a reference to the Q&A request video that like when I was asking people to ask me questions, I was wearing a shirt that had a shark, I think a barracuda on it, and that was such a random shirt. It was because of a swim team that I was on a few years ago, where it was like the Sharks was one team and then Barracudas was another team. Um, it was yeah, it was random. That shirt's like 3 years old, and oh yeah, that's another sport that I like, swimming. I've done swim teams since I was like 8. I forgot that was a sport. So yeah, it. I don't know. I didn't design the shirt, so I don't know. Are you Spider Man? What do you think? Of course I'm Spider Man. Is Jesus your Lord and Savior? He is mine. Absolutely, yes. Be a cat. That's not a question, and also just no. What is 32 to the power of 8? I was going to do this on paper just to prove that I did it, but I forgot, so I'm going to pull out my calculator. 32. Wait, is there no power? There's no. Oh, here we go. No, that's not right. I don't think I've ever done power, like to the power of something on this calculator. 32 to the power of 8. Let me see if I can. 1,099,511,627,776. Hope that answers your question. Can you send me chocolate? I don't have your address, so I can't. How tall are you, and what's your opinion about the political and economical statement of it's not statement state of the world? I'm like 5'10" and a half, 5'11", I think, tall. Not exactly sure. I think either 5'10" or 5'11". And for the world, listen, the world's a messed up place. We all know that. The Bible says it in Revelation. The world's going to be a lot more messed up. And so politically, yeah, it's messed up. Economically, I'm not the biggest economics guy, but I could say that it could be a lot better than it is. It probably won't be, honestly, not until God remakes the world, and then by then we probably won't be caring about the economical state of the world or politics anymore. And so yeah, it's a mess. It's probably the messiest it's been in a while, but I wasn't alive to experience a lot of stuff that did happen. So I don't know. It's a messed up place. When you were in school, did you have any bullies? I've actually been homeschooled my whole life. I have been to homeschool co-ops. I don't think I've ever really had a bully exactly because I haven't been to a public school ever. Do you like Silent Hill? No. I'm pretty sure that's a video game. I think. I've never played it. Probably won't ever play it because I just don't want to. And then here's the final question. This one was kind of confusing to me. This person asked, do you support atheists? I think it would depend on what you mean by support. If it's by support, it means love those people, care about them, try to share the gospel with them, and show the love of Jesus to them. Absolutely. I think we should be supportive in that way. If by support you mean like agree with and like think that everything's fine with what they believe, I'd have to say no. I think that atheists need Jesus, and um, they need the gospel preached to them. And I don't believe that atheists will go to heaven unless they um, get saved. So I don't support them in the sense of agreement or thinking that they don't need Christ, but I do want to show them that love and care that Jesus does and share the gospel with them so that they can know Christ, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's just about all the questions. I know this was kind of a messy Q&A with a lot of random stuff, but it was enjoyable to make this video. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.